Hi, and welcome to City Happenings. I'm Mayor David Black. Papillion continues to grow while maintaining its status as one of the best places to live in America. Papillion offers much to its residents so they can live, work, and play. For more about Papillion, here's City Happenings.
Thanks, Mayor Black. This winter was hard on city streets. We're seeing the results with all of the potholes.
It raised havoc on the roads. It was quite a bit of snow this year. We had to use a lot of salt. Salt's going to deteriorate the concrete, and it's going to create a place for moisture to get into the streets. And you're going to go into that freeze-thaw cycle. Water gets down, it freezes, and it'll pop the concrete, and now we have a chuck hole. And we have a tremendous amount of chuck holes this year.
It's obvious you can't know where the problems will be. Keeping up is a constant challenge.
It's just a guessing game of where it's going to hit the worst. There's always a process during the summer and the fall to try to seal your roads up, but you can't get to them all. And if you can't get them sealed, you're going to get moisture in them. And everybody tries their hardest. Every city and every community, they work diligently to try to get these roads sealed up, but manpower, time, and the weather, it all plays a factor.
Fixing potholes is a multi-step process that takes manpower.
And we use an air compressor usually to get the hole cleaned out. And of course, when your hole may look like the size of a softball, by the time you're done with an air compressor, maybe the size of a basketball. So then you get it cleaned out, all the loose material out, and you put the tack oil in, it's basically your glue, and you let it flash over, let it set up, and then you put the hot mix asphalt in there, and you leave it maybe about a 1/4 inch high, and then you can roll it out or take your plate compactor and get it compacted, and you can always add a little more if you have to.
That's the process for hot patch. There's also a cold patch that's done during the winter to fill in the potholes.
We'll stay at times, but it's hard to get it to stay. A lot of times we have to use a weed burner, melt the hole, get the ice out of it, try to dry it off the best we can, which it's never going to get 100% dry when it's that cold, and then put the cold patch in there and then try to compact it in. And a lot of times we can just run over with our vehicle, and that's the recommendation, is drive over with the vehicle. And a lot of times we use a plate compactor to compact that. But with that stuff, it has so much oil in it that it doesn't have time to set up sometimes, that a car can come along and just push it back out of the hole. So we try to get them filled to alleviate damage to vehicles, and we know we'll probably be back to that same hole again until we can get some hot mix in it.
There has to be a priority strategy when repairing these large amount of potholes.
We focus first of all on the main streets, the primaries, 84th Street, 72nd, 96th, 1st Street, areas that are going to have a heavy traffic flow and a higher speed. 72nd Street's 45 miles an hour, residential's 25. Now granted, there are maybe worse chuck holes in the residential than on that 72nd Street, but at 25 miles an hour you can maneuver around a chuck hole fairly easy. Try that at 45 miles an hour when somebody all of a sudden decides to jerk the steering wheel over and now he's in your lane. So we try to focus on those higher speed, more traffic roads first, then get into the secondary streets.
Once those are taken care of, then the crews move into the neighborhoods.
We just work every street. It's the only way. I have calls from every corner of town and pretty much every street. It's not efficient to jump from one phone call to one phone call because you'll be all over town and get nothing done. So we have to focus on one street, one area, cover every street in that area, then move to the next. It's a time-consuming process. It takes pretty much most of the summer to cover every street, because then a lot of times we may have to go back, and some of these cold patches may have come out. So it's a continuing process. It's never-ending.
Please call the city to report potholes on your street or where you drive. This also helps Public Works identify areas needing repair. The Papillion Landing Field House has been open for a few months. One of the city's newest employees coordinates events in that facility.
I started my career in Denver, Colorado at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. I ran the field complex outside of the stadium. We had 24 sports fields that we did soccer tournaments, lacrosse tournaments, rugby, ultimate frisbee, anything that you can play on a rectangle sport field.
After 5 years, it was on to the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. and RFK Stadium.
Working for Events DC and helped manage all their events for half the time I was there with DC United and some of the concerts and things that we did at the stadium and then at the actual Armory itself.
The Armory offered fun, but also challenges.
The DC Armory was the home of the National Guard for the city, so there's a lot of stuff we had to work around when it came to events. And then my second half of the time there, I was the facility manager, so I kind of oversaw all the maintenance and projects that we were doing for the stadium and for the DC Armory.
The desire to return to the home area came calling.
Denver for me, Omaha for my wife, and had the opportunity to be the stadium manager at TD Ameritrade Park. So I spent 2 years there, running the College World Series, creating baseball, either the Big Ten or the Big East tournaments. Had a great time doing all those things.
Despite all of the experiences, Nate wanted to get back to his roots.
Which was the Fields Complex, and this was a perfect opportunity to be a part of a great community, be a part of the youth and adult sports programs that are going on, could be really a part of that business development, doing kind of the sales and programming, and then the operations side of things as well. So I liked having the mix of those things, and I really missed it.
Nate respects and appreciates his big-time experiences.
Running the big events is really fun and glamorous in a way, but for me, I get a little bit more pride out of being able to be a part of the full operation rather than just one piece.
Nate responds to the good-natured kidding about knowing the lyrics to the NFL Washington Redskins' well-known fight song.
I don't. The Redskins had moved on to FedEx Field by that time. I was in Washington, D.C., but definitely picked up on a lot of the DC United chants and some of the things that those fans were doing.
We'll hear more from Nate in a future show. 10 students from the 3 middle schools in the Papillion-La Vista Community School District practiced pitching their business ideas in a Shark Tank type event. The ideas ranged from a juice cleanse shop to a virtual reality movie theater. Business leaders acted as the sharks and grilled the students on their business plans.
I definitely learned a lot about the business world and stuff I'd never even thought about before. And even if I did know about it, it helped me, work on it a lot and experience what it's actually like to be a part of it.
The students participating in the Shark Tank are part of a program called High Ability Learners, or HAL. This is the 6th year for the event.
I thought they did great. They were able to answer the questions really well, and I could tell that they all had thought through quite a lot of the aspects of a business plan, so I was pretty proud of them.
Now that's what's happening around Papillion. There are lots of ways to stay up to date. You can find us on Facebook, follow the City of Papillion on Twitter and Instagram, or watch our YouTube channel. And of course, information about all of our departments and programs is available on our website, www.papillion.org, or just call the Mayor's hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.